Hey, what's up? um, I got this in the mail and I thought I'd do a review on it since I haven't seen any, at least not in English. Um, it's a Night Evo m900 Vampire series grip light. Now, I've used several of the Night Evolution's scout lights, and this is on an AR-10, and they work great. And I have also compared them and ran them side by side with real 600 series, or with real scout lights. And this one has the adapter to take the bigger bulbs, and the Night Evolution's lights, at least the Scouts, because I don't have batteries for this. The Scout's been doing okay, their Scout copy. I have had two of them, both on AR-10s, and the one Scout, I'll do a review on it if anyone wants it, but the one Scout and the AR-10 took a big tumble and the light just kept rocking and rolling. But anyway, this ain't about the Scouts. Let's get into this. So I do have the black head coming because I think these gold tan heads, I don't know why they do black bodies with tan metal pieces, but anyway, so it has a white setting, which is straight, just a straight normal beam. Then it has this IR setting, which actually obviously isn't infrared. You pull the collar out, rotate it, and it snaps in, just like the real Vampire. The IR is actually a strobe setting. So let's get into some things that I do like, besides the price. The plastic feels like a good, high-quality polymer. The M900 clones of yesteryear were just a cheap ABS, and they felt like junk. And I would get them, and I'd own them for a couple months, maybe a year, and I would ditch them because I just wanted something that felt better. I always run these on my UMP just because, you know, it ain't like it's like it gets a lot of abuse, you know. But so I like the plastic. I would prefer the all black furniture. If I decide to keep this and it holds up, I'll get a QD mount, probably an ARMS 17. I'll probably either have this cap anodized or just hit it with like a gloss paint, I don't know. But as you know, you have a setting here that turns the whole unit on or off, and then you have this in the back. This in the back's my only complaint because it has a little play to it, and there's no screw in here to hold it on, so you can just pull this off. And I just put a little dab of super glue on the inside of this and put it back on if I decide to keep it. I've witness marked it just to mount it in the same position. I Loctite these screws, Loctite these ones. If you get one of these and the head is just wiggly, it's just a whole unit moves up and down. That's what happened here. It was just kind of real loose. And I bought it from a guy here in the States. He said to just tighten these, it'll be okay. So I tightened these, and it just tightened the head up rock solid. So I Loctite these. I tightened them. I put Loctite in, tighten them up, let it set overnight. Something else that you need to know. When taking this head off, like for whatever reason, I took this head off because I put just a dab of Molly on the threads just so that it does not seize up. I don't know, maybe this is going to get hot from a lot of shooting on this UMP, you know? And that's why I took it off, just to put a little Molly on there. Grab it by the head, because if you grab it around this collar and put any pressure on this, this will, if you can see the piece in there, that cannot withstand the pressure of twisting it. They need to make a new locking mechanism. I understand it's just for airsoft and no one's gonna probably want to take this head off. I'll have to if I get the black one, obviously, but under normal circumstances you're not going to. I get it, but they still need to reinforce this. I had a different head. It was the same color and everything, but when I got this unit the first time, that's what I did. I took it apart, and next thing you know, pop, and the ring would just spin. The seller just swapped me a new head, and we're good to go. I got cut off there by a phone call. But anyway, getting back to this. The other things that I really enjoy about this unit that are nice are the buttons. They've got the rubber that goes over this switch is nice. And you got a good sort of audible click, you know. I prefer the audible click. I mean, I've messed with some real Surefires, and I can't remember if they did have an audible click or not. Same with the side switches. Positive. It just feels nice. That really does feel quality-ish. You know, I really like that you've got such a positive switch. It's an LED. They say 220 lumen. To be honest with you, I'm not a real good judge of that. If I shut this big light off and shut this door, here is a Surefire EB2 backup, and this is actually the batteries are going dead, but you can see a nice, let me see if I can raise the camera up here to the wall. You can see, and again, the batteries are going dead, but it's got a real nice warm center. You know, you've seen the reviews on the EB2s. Now, I'm going to have to rob the batteries out of this because I don't have the Night Evolutions for export, I suppose, for the mail, are not allowed to come with batteries. So let me rob some batteries out of it, and we'll check out the beam. It takes 3, by the way. I'm probably sure you're aware of that, but for those who aren't, we'll see if these, because these batteries are kind of on the dead side. But, whoops, have it on the strobe. Let's go to the regular. Wow. Nice hot beam. And the spill is pretty nice. And it's as you can see, it's a hot light, a white, very white light. Where the EB2, as you notice, kind of was like a yellowish, kind of soft beam. The thing that I don't like about these Chinese Krees or whatever, the center beam is solid, and then you got this weird ring around it, sort of like in the middle of the center and the outside of the spill. You always have like a weird ring. I don't know if it's their reflector, and I doubt it's showing up on here, but... And then you've got the, and I'm really surprised by them too, you got the Navi lights. And, you know, my bed there. Just kind of check that out if you can. So, that's just kind of really, you know, the camera's not going to see it like your eye is. But, that's actually really surprising how bright that is. We'll bring it down to the bed and I'll let you see the Navi lights. Yeah, look at that. So that's kind of cool, you know, that it's, you know, we'll just throw something in there so you can check it out. I'm not in total darkness, obviously, so, but that's really, really cool. The unit is pretty beefy. I don't have a scale, but I'm saying without batteries and easy, whoops, an easy, you know, 1 pound. Or maybe even, if I so dare to say, 1.5 pounds. Easy. I mean, it is really beefy. So I like that about it. I mean, yeah, I know it adds some weight and all that, but it's just like a heavy quality weight type feel, you know? So there's the likes and the dislikes about the unit. I wish they would have come with the Copy Surefire QD mount instead of the dumb thumb screw mount. I think that thumb screw mount is absolutely gay. But let me get it mounted up here, whoops, so you can see it. I think I have to shoot it. I hope it's going to work out and kind of hold up to the, I don't want to call it abuse, but just a little bit of recoil that the 45 auto has in a rifle. I mainly shoot my UMP suppressed. You can watch a video about my UMP, but I mainly shoot suppressed, and so I don't think that the top of this is going to get much blast, to be honest with you. if I ever decided to not shoot suppress, but I wanted to mitigate what little bit of muzzle blast that this has, I have the Brugger and Thomet muzzle brake, the birdcage brake for this. But that's it. I'm going to leave the review at this until I get a chance to go out and shoot. In which case I'll make a part 2. Just sort of with some shooting clips. And, you know, sort of like my up until then sort of final thoughts, you know. If anything between... if anything after the part 2, you know, like if the if the head just falls off or something crazy, then I'll get back to you. But so far, it's a quality piece. It really does. I mean, the scout lights are by far absolutely 10 out of 10, and I honestly out of 10 would probably give this maybe high 8, low 9, just because when that wiggled, it kind of like I don't want to say freaked me out, but it kind of upset me when the color broke when I grabbed it and turned. That kind of upset me, but but you know, not every piece of gear is I guess 100%, you know. I mean, that Surefire Scout I have more problems out of that fucker, and the switches, factory Surefire switches and all that, and twice I believe I've sent it back to Surefire. This one time the switch shorted out, and the second time the tail cap shorted out. So, you know, not everything I guess is. But anyway, that's it for now. We'll get to a part 2 later on.